Back talking Cougar volleyball with head coach Melinda Ryan Washington here on the Cougar Coaches Show on Mediacom Channel 22 and on ColumbiaCougars.com, the all-new website, by the way, if you haven't been, if you're watching this on TV, check out ColumbiaCougars.com, a lot of extra video features, player bios, and a lot more information. It's an all-new slick website for the athletic program. And the Cougars at 7-2, 2-1 in the conference. As we said, new streak, the infamous 56.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, and it's ironic because, at some point, all last year there was a lot more hype made of the streak, it seemed like, just with the overall success of the program. And it was always kind of one of those like, all right, well, whatever. It is what it is. It doesn't really, a regular season conference loss. But still, to think about that, up until the last loss to, ironically, a brand new member of the conference, Freed Hardman, that beat you guys 3-2, was October of 2002, I believe was the number I'd read, of 156 regular season conference matches is an unbelievable feat.
Thank you. I don't know. I guess thank you. I'm proud of the girls. I mean, they've done a great job throughout the years in winning and finding ways to win ball games in the conference. It's bound to happen at some point.
Yeah.
Streaks don't last forever, and the girls did a nice job. I don't even think the new girls really realized there was a streak.
Yeah.
So we take each game one by one at a time, and try to prepare as best we can for each one. Freed Hardman and Mid-Continent were teams we didn't know anything about, going down and playing in a new facility, in a new place. And it was a nice experience. Freed Hardman had a great gym. It was a great atmosphere. They had a lot of people at the game, and their team just came out to play that day. They played an exceptional game, and we just had a little bit of an off day. I mean, we didn't really play well, but giving credit to his team, they played a great match.
And it just goes to show, the new teams in the conference, they know what two letters are at the top usually that CC is circled on a lot of volleyball schedules for the opponents, and that's the ultimate flattery of having that target on your back every time you guys go out. Somebody's gunning for you to knock you off, whether there's a streak or not.
Right. The girls are learning. The new girls especially are learning very quickly that it was something that we tried to communicate to them very early on, before actually even the first tournament, that it doesn't matter who's on the other side of the net. They bring a different game to Columbia. We are the big game for most of these schools. Hey, we're playing Columbia College. They're preparing for us. They're scouting us. They all have a game plan when they come out to play us. And so it's very important that our girls understand that, because if teams believe at some point that they can play with you, they will in volleyball. It's a rally score game. Unfortunately, I was coaching at Columbia back when it wasn't rally score, and it was a different game. It was a different game, and the rally points have changed things. Teams against us typically will come out and serve very aggressively, and if they have a good serving night, or sometimes a lucky serving night, they can be hard to beat. And almost every team that we've come out and played this year that was an underdog would come out and just serve rockets at us. And sometimes they miss, a lot of missed serves, and which benefits us. But a couple of teams have had ridiculous serving nights against us, just serving balls in seams or hitting a corner. Or last night I think there were two that caught tape and just rolled over and dropped on our court. And there's not much you can do about those type of balls. So it's been a good lesson to our girls to learn that every team, no matter what talent level they are, no matter what kind of a team system they run, there's always a chance. If you don't play your game and you don't play well and you don't play every ball that comes over the net in a high level, you're going to get beat.
And not a better example than here on your court with what Rose's team with Stevens did, and took the first set for first game from you guys.
Right. So, I mean, great set out of them, and we had some difficulties on our side. I turned in the lineup a little bit wrong, actually a lot wrong, and I've never done that in a game. Every once in a while I'll have maybe one wrong number, but this lineup was completely backwards, upside down, every which way you can mess it up. I had done it, so.
And for that, so that means that's what you're set with?
That's what you're set with. Once you turn that lineup in, it's in. And the way I had turned it in, there weren't many subs that I could have made to fix the situation. We had, it was not good. But regardless, we need to find ways to win a game like that. Unfortunately, we weren't able to recover. I think the referees were a little generous with our out of rotation calls, or maybe they were confused too.
Right.
But we struggled through, and then got back on our feet and were able to take care of things. But with so many new players, so many new lineups that I've been trying to run with all the injured players out, that it becomes confusing. And when it becomes confusing even to the coaching staff on the bench, as far as who you've got in, who's serving in each serving rotation. I mean, I've run a different lineup almost every match, and almost every set of every match we've run a different lineup.
Well, and because of A, like you mentioned, the newcomers, and B, the injuries to Brooke and the others, sometimes you have to try those new combos in game action as opposed to in practice, just to get that feel of exactly what am I going to get out of combo A, B, and C.
Right, and part of my goal this year too is to use my bench. You know, we have the depth this year. We have way more depth than we've had in the past, even with the injuries that we have that are sidelining some girls right now. We still have depth at the outside hitting positions. And so I've been trying to get game experience for everybody. Last night, I think everybody played. So it's very important to me to make sure that we get game situations for all of the newcomers especially.
And again, some of those returners, like Aaron Pavlin and like Jordan Reed, can help the new girls, and that chemistry that we've talked about over the years before continue to mesh and figure out what that combo is to work.
Right, and you know, those girls also, they're utility players. Jordan can play outside hitter, she can play right side hitter, she can play all three defensive positions in the back row. Erin can play all three defensive positions. She can be the libero. She can be a serving specialist. So it's very nice that those returners are versatile, because we have been mixing the lineup. Like if a newcomer comes in and is struggling in the outside hitting position, I've subbed Jordan in that role, just because I know she'll go back to fundamentals and basics and not make errors.
Lindenwood and Belleville, we talked about some of the, one of the things, the landscape of college sports, and whether it's Mizzou in the SEC or all over with the conference realignment, new schools in with Mid-Continent and Freed-Hardeman, as you mentioned, and now Belleville, the team you played last night, they're going to be in the AMC next season. What did you see out of that team coming here? I know you guys got the 3-0 win.
Yeah, just fundamentally sound. They were keeping the ball off the floor. They were digging a lot of balls. I didn't see a lot of discipline, but I did see a lot of heart. They were digging a lot of balls and putting a lot of second and third balls over the net and waiting for us to make mistakes. And that's the game plan of a lot of teams we play. Put unconventional balls back over the net. They were tipping a lot. They were roll shotting a lot. We are very big. We've got a very big team in the front row, so they weren't really hitting balls hard. They were just chip shotting around our block and tipping and roll shotting and keeping the ball in play, though, not making errors, not killing themselves, and forcing us to score points and get the job done. And that's what most schools do against us. They serve aggressively and then just hit around our block, put balls in play, and wait for us to make errors.
What is the status? What do you think as far as the AMC conference as it's growing? Who are the top 3, 4, 5 teams here to look out for in this 2013 season?
Right now, Park's sitting right behind us. They're breaking the top 10 this week, and they're right on the bubble there. They're one win away from really getting up there in the top rankings in the country. They've brought in some really good talent from Brazil, and really solidified all of the holes, I guess, that they had in last year's team. So they're playing at a high level right now, and they're getting looks nationally for being a top 10 team. Missouri Baptist is stronger than last year. They've returned all of their key players, plus they've added another NCAA Division I transfer in the middle and a couple of other position players on the outside. So they're going to be strong, and they're much stronger. They're looking to me to be a top 15 team. So 2 strong teams there. Of course, Freed-Hardeman is right behind them, and then William Woods falls in right behind Freed-Hardeman.
Yeah, and that's obviously the history between you and William Woods as far as a rivalry is always there, no matter whether it's on the volleyball court, basketball, soccer, now golf, cross country, you name it, with the proximity to the locations. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit about what's ahead for the Columbia College Cougars. It's hard to believe we're already 9 matches into the season. Before you know it, we're into conference play and then the conference tournament time. We'll look ahead a little bit and preview what's up next for Columbia College with Coach Melinda Ryan Washington on the Cougar Coaches Show here on ColumbiaCougars.com and the MediaCom Channel 22.